The 1970s in automotive history are often associated with the last years of big land yachts, but American car companies had already been making compact cars by the time, and the Ford Maverick was one of them. It was made from 1969 to 1977 as a two-door and a four-door sedan, and was in fact the successor to the Ford Falcon from the 1960s. Now, back in 1969, this car could be purchased brand new at a showroom for $2,000, which is about $16,000 in today's money, so it was very affordable even back in the day. Together with the Chevy Nova and Dodge Dart, these cars were labeled import fighters because they were trying to stop American companies lose market share to subcompact Japanese imports, especially when the oil crisis took off in 1973. But as the 70s rolled on, American manufacturers made even smaller cars like the Ford Pinto, Chevy Vega, and AMC Gremlin to compete with the imports, but that didn't really work out. Now, the Ford Maverick was also aimed toward the export market, and was therefore also manufactured locally in several Latin American countries. And that's how it ended up here on my table, because it is part of a subscription-based 124 diecast collection that showcases Mexican automotive history. And this collection is called Autos Inolvidables, which means unforgettable cars. But individual issues, or in this case models, can be purchased off eBay and other online retailers. And that is how I ended up getting this one for approximately 13 euros, which is a steal considering these models can go all the way up to 30. Motormax has also made a 124 Ford Maverick, which has opening doors, but no window glass, and its front chrome grille looks worse than on this version. But if you can find one of the special white or red grabber liveries on the Motormax, I'd consider getting that one instead of this, because on this model, nothing opens. However, let's take a closer look at the fine detailing. When you take a look at the front of this 1974 Ford Maverick, I think that head-on the car looks really cool. Now, the company that made this model, which is Salvat, placed a lot of details in getting the front to look right. Nothing feels cheap here, and if you take a look at the headlights, for example, they have no pegs, which makes them look that much more realistic. They have chrome bezels, and a lot of attention was also put into the front grille because you can see that it is shaded properly with the black gaps in between the slats. We also get a Maverick badge, and the fog lights, or I should say indicators in this case, are painted in orange and also have like a small grille in front of them. Interestingly, there is no Ford logo on the Maverick. We also get no license plate, but we do get this front chrome bumper with the rubber inserts, in this case of course just matte black paint, and the grille reflects really nicely on the chrome. As we move on further up, you'll notice that the hood does not have any vents. From what I understand, the straight six engines for the Maverick were rated between 105 and 120 horsepower. And over here we have black windshield wipers and a very sensitive antenna, which I'd be very careful in touching because this thing can snap off very easily. We also get chrome mirrors, you can see right there. Taking a look at the side of the 124 scale 1974 Ford Maverick, you can see some design cues are taken from the much more popular Ford Mustang, especially the fastback roof. But otherwise, it definitely has the proportions of a compact car. It also has this nice trim line that goes over the wheel arches and all the way to the back. And now if we take a closer look at the wheels. These wheels have really interesting wheel covers on them. It says Ford Motor Company on the chrome hubcap in the middle, which is actually a really nice attention to detail in 1/24 scale. And of course the tires have white walls on them, and we have painted indicators on the front overhang, as well as behind the rear wheel on the rear overhang. And up here it says Maverick. The V in Maverick is shaped like the horns of the Texas Longhorn cattle. Taking a look at the back of the 1/24 scale 1974 Ford Maverick, you can see the back is pretty plain. I mean, especially the taillights do not have any detail on them. They just look like flat pieces that have been fitted onto the car body. In the middle we have the Maverick logo and a silver painted trunk lock above it. You also get that nice chrome trim line above, and we get chrome rear bumpers. But unfortunately, no rear license plate either. We do get some exhausts though, which you can see down here. And now let's take a look at the interior of this car. And I actually think that they have done a pretty solid job on the interior, because it is painted in beige, meaning it's very clearly visible, and at the same time it also contrasts really nicely with the green exterior. If we take a closer look at the dashboard, you can see that we have a stereo there. Early models lacked a glove compartment, which was added during the 1973 model year. Since this is the 1974 model, it comes with one. The door cards also have some really nice detailing, including the window crank, although it could have been painted in a separate color. Gear shift and a little storage bin underneath it. The seat detailing also looks nice. They do not have any headrests though, but this might be accurate to the real car. And here's a look at the back seats, with some decent legroom actually for a compact car. You even get some vents on the dashboard. And now taking a look at the driver's side of the 1974 Ford Maverick. So what we have here is a 2-spoke steering wheel. Probably didn't have any airbag in them at the time. We do get 2 gauge clusters, one the speedometer and the other the rev meter. Let's see if I can focus in on them. It's about as sharp as I can get it. But yeah, you can see that there's some weird lever here in black behind stalks on the steering column. And once again, you have here a look at the interior. So overall, this is a really nice model. And now taking a look at the bottom, you can see that it says Ford Maverick. That's about it. There's really not much else in terms of detail here, with the exception of the fuel tank and, as I mentioned, the exhaust pipe. So I hope you guys liked my review of this rather unusual 1/24 scale collector's model, where nothing opens, but there's plenty of exterior detailing. 1974 Ford Maverick. And if you're interested in more vintage cars, you'll find some other ones that I've reviewed over here. Take care, have a wonderful day, and this is Imperial Diecast, signing out.